very easy role for me to play because I am a fossil-free member. And I managed to say almost my whole line that I had. But Caroline, she was so worked up, so I couldn't really say the whole line because I had no time for it. So I had to neglect some of it. Should have just continued talking.
Yeah, that's very nice because I have to check how loud I have to make it and how...
Okay. And yes, the demonstration is started with Caroline giving an speech, just an introduction speech, and then some of us, me and Sarah's boyfriend, who's an actor, and also Caroline and Joe, we did a little play about, and Sarah also, she was a narrator. We did a little play about how Lund University breaks up with the fossil fuel industry in 2015, something we really hope will happen. And yeah, it's good. Okay, good.
All right. So it would be nice if you could present yourself like looking into the camera, but then afterwards looking at me, answering the questions.
What do you want in the presentation?
Just your name and what you're studying or what you're working.
Okay. Okay. So my name is Lisa Brandt, and I'm a PhD student at LTH, and I work with district heating and kind of new ways to produce district heating in a renewable way.
Okay. I have to try again because there's quite a lot of background noise, but I guess.
Yeah.
So could you put it on your?
Yeah.
So here, but then you can't move anymore if you put it here.
Okay. I'm just gonna go like this.
This is awesome. I hope it's gonna be fine, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We could just. All right. So, what do you think is 350's objective?
The objective of 350 and not of fossil-free movement. Yeah, the objective of 350, I think, is to create a movement or kind of, what do you say? Okay, now I'm just looking for the word in English. But so that people know about climate change, to spread the word kind of, and make it a real thing for normal people, so that things start to happen. And also because the climate talks, they are very, very slow, and all the top-down work are going very slow. So 350 is trying to make a bottom-up work from real people who want to affect the politicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is 350's strategy to achieve that goal?
350, they have many, or some movements, you could say, where fossil free is one of them, and also this climate march and this days that they kind of like today, Global Divestment Day. They create global days where it's the fossil fuel industry and the bad things they do is okay, that word again, sorry, but it comes up in the whole world at the same time, and that's kind of strong, I think, because we do this today as a very tiny action, but we know that all over the world there are over 300 likewise actions, and I think that they create a kind of togetherness that makes me at least feel that it's more possible to actually achieve a change, and I think that's a good strategy. Yeah.
How do they frame their message? How do they communicate that we have to? How do they reason for the action for climate change or against climate change? Do they say, for example, we need to do something because of the economy, or we need to fight climate change because of the environment?
Oh yeah, they frame it with environmental and the justice, also the social justice around the world, that we are kind in this western northern world here, we are kind of drowning people with rising seas and so on islands, and I should say environmental, and also
kind of human, because if we don't do anything, we won't have this world as we want to have it. So it's just some kind of self-help in some kind of way.
Why do you think that? Where do you get your information from about 350, their strategy, their goals, and so on?
Why do I get it?
No, where?
Where? Okay. Mostly I get it from internet sources. They have a website, but I mostly get the information from social networks, kind of Facebook and also Twitter somewhat. But they also have, or at least the fossil free movement, which I'm in, and I'm not that into the rest of 350, but mostly in fossil free. We have like webinars, web seminars together with the rest, a lot of people around the world. It was, I think, over 1,000 last time. And so it's many channels, but mostly from the internet. And also we together, as our little group, we talk about news that we've heard and everything.
How do you communicate with 350?
Well, we have this national organizer, Olivia. I don't know if you know her. Anyways, she's the national organizer of Fossil Free. So she's in contact with all the groups in Sweden, and she also she's kind of the channel with who. So she passes the word on. And if we ask her something, and she just, oh, I don't know that, but I know like Louise and Karen or whatever, they in Great Britain, they know a lot about this, so I'll just put you together, and she's kind of organizing. So every country has this kind of organizer, so you have an easy way to get like kind of to the top.
Okay.
So we could actually get in contact with Bill McKibben if we needed to via her.
And how is leadership organized in 350?
What do you mean organized? Do you mean...
How is the organization, like who's leading?
Okay. Well, it was kind of Bill McKibben's with friends idea. So he was I say, because he's going to step back a bit, the leader. But after then, it's kind of, it's this national organizers. And then they have who's leading every country, kind of. And then you have kind of a flat organization in the groups, in the local groups. I mean, we don't have an actual leader. We have, okay, then you can be responsible for this today or this semester, but we don't have a spoken leader. And then it's the national organizer, and then I think they have some kind of European organizer and organizer in the US, and so and then it's kind of an organization on the top with those.
So what is Bill McKibben's role now?
Well, he's taken a step back. I should say I don't really know, because this happened late in the autumn, and it's now early in the spring, so I don't really know. But he's maybe some kind of inspirational leader, maybe something like that. But he does not have that much responsibilities anymore, I think. But I'm not sure of that, because I don't know if they worked out the organization yet.
And could you imagine 350 without Bill McKibben?
Yeah, no problem at all. People and the movement we're building together with the whole of the world. I mean, we are doing things here today. Meanwhile, people on Indonesian islands are doing things, and we are the real 350.org.
Okay. And do you have the impression that your local group is somehow involved in the strategy of 350?
Yes, very much.
Like, can you influence the strategy?
Yeah, I think, I think, because we have these webinars, and we also have these meetings in these country meetings. We have like once every other month, and then we can come up with ideas, and if we have a good idea, Olivia will pass it on, and then they will discuss it, and then maybe it will be implemented in the rest of Europe. So I think that would be very easy, but kind of easy.
Okay. just take this
Oh.
one and put it on the...
Sorry.
Oh, no worries. No, not your
I
fault.
gesture a lot.
No, yeah, but it's naturally it's nice that you do because otherwise it would look a bit strange. as hell.
Maybe.
Okay. Which meaning does the organization have for you and your local group? Like, how do they intervene with you, or how do they interact with you?
Well, I'll say that they organize these global days, and they also come up with global strategies that we should have the same symbol, kind of. Yeah, they, and if they have ideas, but I think it's, should I speak up? I think it's kind of up to every country, because every country has cultural differences. So, hi. Sorry, I haven't got any. I'm all broken.
Well, the question was what's the meaning for the organization, the organization's meaning for the local group?
Oh, it wasn't about the influences. Sorry,
Yeah, but like, how does it influence your?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So it's we are doing our local campaign, and then it's support, I should say. If we need, like, we're gonna do a press release in English, and we need support for that, we could just send it to some people in Great Britain, and they can help us. So it's make it easier to contact each other, I should say.
And how does the movement influence the forming of identity of your local group?
Yes, I think it's the same answer there. It's good to know that someone has your back, but as also Bill McKibben said when he was here, he was traveling around the world, and in every country the meetings are different, and so you have to adjust your movement to where you are. So I think that you have to create something that works in your town, and then you have to go with that. So I should say mostly that's, but it's not only us. They have our back, so we are together in this. That's something like that.
And to which extent is your local group self-organized or dependent on the movement?
We are kind of dependent on the movement for financial things. Like we bought some colors, for example, for today, and then we don't want to pay that from our own pockets, because then it would be hard to get new members. And so they are helping with that. And but otherwise, and they are also organizing these global things. But it's not you have to do it. But it's nice if everybody does something. So it's nice to know also. So we do it mostly. But otherwise, it's I think, as I said, it's you have to create something that works for your town individually. And also in Sweden, I mean, we are doing it's in the same country, but we are having slightly different approaches anywho. So I think you have to, it's kind of individual, I should say, or individual for our group.
Okay. How much freedom does your local group have in its decision?
Oh, a lot. The only thing we have is a budget to keep for such occasions as today. But otherwise we can do kind of whatever we want.
And to what extent do you use that freedom?
To what
Like,
extent?
I mean, how much do you use that freedom as well?
Well, we take our own decisions, and we come up with our own strategies, and we don't ask if we can do this. I should say we are doing what we want to, to a big extent.
Okay, great. And would you wish for more or less freedom?
No, I think it's good. I think it's good as it is today, because then it's easier. You don't have to do things, and it's also easier, I think, to join a group where you can't, because I think this goes down. Also that there is a lot of freedom, so you can do whatever you want. So it's easy to recruit new members, because you can always say, you can join like every other month. You can join every time we meet. You can help in any way you want. If you have any ideas, just say them, and we'll try to make it happen. So sorry, what was the question?
The question was if you would wish for more.
Yeah, no, I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any improvements in mind that you would wish for in the cooperation between 350 and your local group?
Well, no, I think it works very well actually. I think, and that's a lot thanks to Olivia, who is very the local or the national organizer, who is very easy to contact and easy to talk to, and everything just things are easy with her. So that's kind of why. Yeah.
And now regarding your local group and its members, whom would you address to become active members, potential active members? What circle of people would they come from?
Okay, it's mostly students, almost only students. I'm a PhD student, so I'm kind of working with them, kind of a student. So but I'm the only one that's not only a student now, and it's mostly people that are studying something about environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you maybe heard about a scale called the Six Americas? The
What?
Six Americas, it's called, and it's categories for like how the people can be in different categories. Like here's those who are very concerned about the environment. Here, not at
I
all.
haven't heard about this.
And if you would have to tell me where, like in this scale, do people come from that join the movement?
I think it's these two, alarmed and concerned,
Okay.
I should say.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Okay. And then, how do you communicate with potential members? Or actually, we can leave that question out. I heard it a lot. Do you have any form of organizational language or like some words that are particular to your group? Like, for example, calling people change makers, or today we're going fossiling, or I don't know, something like that.
Well, no, not really. We are having, but that's something we want to implement in the whole country to divest. But otherwise, no, I wouldn't say we have such words.
And what about visuals? Is there any particular visual sign that is particular to your local group?
Well, it's the Orange Cross with LU, Lund University, and but otherwise, no.
And who decides about the design of means of communication, like posters and stuff like that?
We come up with that ourselves. Like today, the breakup poster, a guy, he was very good with posters and media. He just drew it, and we said, "Oh, it's perfect, good." So, but we always have the Orange Cross also, which is common for the whole world.
Is there anything you have to follow, or can you just do whatever you want to?
Well, it's this Orange Cross to say that we are a part of the global fossil-free movement, but we don't have to have it. But it's nice because then, like, students from other parts of the world, they can recognize it. That okay, I saw this in my campus back home, and now it's here. So we always have that.
All right. What does it mean to you to be part of an international movement with like those global days? You said that before, but maybe we have something to add.
Well, I think it means hope in a kind of nice way. It means a lot to me that, I mean, it's not only us, but people around the world are fighting for this. At least we're doing something, and that that's such a lot of people who's doing something all over the world. Gives me hope.
Okay. And Jerry, shit, I'll be back in a second. I have to, maybe she can.
Jerry.
I just need to catch Cherry. She's my next
Okay.
interview before she leaves.
Interview offer.
Okay, so what's your what does it mean to be part of a big movement?
To me,
Yeah.
it means that I can feel that I do something important, and it means kind of I can feel some kind of companionship with people I have never met and far away, but we are still fighting for the same thing and for each other, and so yeah, it's a nice feeling that we are together. Yeah.
Great. And what does it mean for your personal sense of hope for the climate being part of this movement?
It means a lot. It means a great lot. I mean, I had, what do you say, climate anxiety, kind of something like that, and then I really have to do something. And after I joined this movement and I really do something, at least I know I can tell my future children that I tried. I really did something. So it means a lot to me.
And what does divestment campaigning mean for your personal sense of hope for the climate?
Well, it means a lot because I think it's some of the ways that you can really influence people, or people that have power also often have a lot of money, and people are politicians, and so they are very interested in money. So if you do something to the thing they love most, I mean, then we could actually make a real difference in another way that maybe, I mean, everything is needed, but this is really affecting, what we do here is really affecting kind of the whole world, since the finance world is global. So it means we can really do something with this movement.
Okay, and last question, do you see yourself as an individual agent of change? Or does your agency merge with the group here?
Oh, that's a tricky question. I don't know. No, I think that kind of both, if I can answer that, because, well, I mean, of course it's me. I'm the one going to the meetings and making a real difference for me. But if it was only me, nothing would have happened. I could stand here with a sign on the square. But so we're creating something together. But I help. So it's good help from me that we're doing something together. Something like that.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Do you have any further information, input, topics you want to share?
Not that I can think of right now.
Then thank you very much.
Thank you.
For your patience and your